the needle will always reach that point. Okay, in this video, we're going to explain step by step how to adjust the needle bar of the industrial sewing machine. The adjustment of the needle bar and the hook are the ones in charge of making your machine sew if it's not going to skip stitches. It's very important for people who work with industrial sewing machines. It's very important that they know this adjustment, which we will explain in this video. We will do it step by step. Also, it's very important not to skip ahead in the video. You'll miss adjustments. Many people do that or don't watch the complete video and they'll miss adjustments. These adjustments won't work for you, but with these two adjustments, your machine will always sew without skipping stitches because the bar height is perfect for forming the stitch along with the crab tip. Remember that the tip of the hook passes through the notch, catches the needle thread, goes around and between the threads. If the needle bar is too low, the hook tip will pass too high and the needle will hit the bobbin case and the bobbin. If it is too high, the hook tip will not go through the notch in the needle and it won't be able to catch the thread, which will cause a skipped stitch. Let's start with the first one. There are two options to adjust. Set the height of the bar, and we will see that in the needle bar, it has some small lines. These come from the factory in machines with the original bar, but if you replace it with a generic one, it won't come with this. So you'll need to adjust the bar with the second adjustment, which is the safest, and I'll show you how to do it step by step. This is very important. You'll be spot on with that adjustment and will never need this adjustment of these two marks. Let's see why. Then let's see that if we're going to like it with the lines that the needle bar brings. Here we can see some lines which come from the factory. In this case, the bar height should be adjusted so that this line in the middle is flush with this little hole here, in which we can see at first glance that the bar is much lower than usual. So if you want to learn how to do it with these lines, the ideal position would be here around the middle. The second one from the bottom up would be the first adjustment, but I'll show you how to do it. Go for sure so that the stitch doesn't skip again. And with this needle bar height adjustment, your machine will never skip a stitch due to the bar adjustment. It will always be fixed, and if your machine is skipping stitches, you'll need to start looking into other issues like now. Adjustment of the crab threader, bad needle, and other little things. But regarding the needle bar, with what I'm going to show you for this adjustment, the stitch will never skip. Now let's see. Here we have a crab that I have set up to show you very closely what we must do. I have the crab and the needle, which we can see that there is its hole in this orifice. It's where the needle lands, so let's make it so that when the needle bar reaches its lowest point, the eye of the needle must be in the middle of this separating line. There we can see it. It must be like this. That is, this part of the crab basket must split the eye in half. It must be in the middle of the eye, as we can see right now. Let's place it. And so right there at that point, the needle should be when the bar reaches the lowest point. At that moment, we need to adjust the height. With this setting, your sewing machine will never skip stitches because of needle bar adjustment. This adjustment is completely precise, and from this side of the bar, the stitch won't skip. Now we're ready. Let's see how we can adjust it and where we need to move the screw to give the needle bar the correct height. Let's remove the cover to show you which bar it is, so it's much easier for you to make that adjustment. So let's remove the screws. There are 1, 2, 3 and 3 screws. We remove them and lower the cover. Okay, we need to locate this screw. It's the one that holds the needle bar. When we loosen it, we'll see that we can freely move the needle bar. let's check. And we see that we can freely raise it to make the adjustment we're going to do next. Now we are going to do the following. We are going to rest our machine on the back if it has support to lean it on. If not, we can place something to lean it against and be able to make the adjustment. Once our machine is like this, we will do what I showed you earlier, which is to lower it until the hole reaches the crab basket part and stays in the middle of the hole, splitting the hole. Now once we have that adjustment, we tighten the screw that holds the needle bar. Normally the screw holding the bar will be tight. I've already tightened it, and now we'll do the following. Let's place it. That's the bar at its lowest point where the needle goes. Remember, we must do this adjustment with the needle in place. We set it at its lowest point, and you can see that the hole is too low. We proceed to loosen the screw that holds the bar in place. We don't need to loosen it too much, just a little, and then we'll lift it by hand so that the hole aligns with the crab basket slot. We can see another little bit there. There's the aresta, and there we can see how the eye is split in half by that part of the basket. After doing that, we tighten the screw again, tighten it strongly. And we're going to turn the wheel, and we see that the needle height always reaches that point. It's never going to go lower or stay higher. It will always reach that point. And it will never skip stitches because of the needle bar adjustment, as we can see. This bar is never going to stay in sync. It only gets out of sync and misaligned when this screw comes loose. The thread gets damaged and it doesn't hold onto the bar, otherwise it shouldn't fail. Now with this measurement and the needle bar adjustment, the machine will never skip stitches. We would have to check other things. Remember, friends, support us with a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.